I think what I'd like to share my story of this weekend because stories are always very relatable, and I feel like it also gives that bit of like, see, like these tools do work, like that bit of proof. So I'll start with if you did not see my post on my doodle Sisa, we took her in Friday to the vet to get her gross swamp ears looked at, and we came out with she has blood parasites, super anemic, and is like 2 seconds away from needing a blood transfusion, a whole whack of prescription drugs, and needing to get an ultrasound. So I was like, what the heck? And then we go get an ultrasound on Saturday, and it turns out she was only born with one kidney. So, which is, this is double layered. The first is obviously my little baby, and we joke. We joke because my Tuco, my old guy, he is our trouble guy. We're at the acupuncturist every week. We're trying to boost his immune system. He's got yeast all over him, so he's super itchy. He has allergies, these fusing vertebra. Like, he's just my old man, and he just has all these issues. Lord love him, but he is our expensive dog. And so we joke that Cisa's our good one. She's just there, happy and healthy. So the double layer to this is all of a sudden now, you know, my little girl that I never have to worry about because she's my healthy dog. She's good, is not good. And the vet gave us like emergency numbers for over the weekend. And if anything happens, give him this blood work and tell him this. And I'm like, holy crap, what? So not only was my anxiety trying to take hold, because that was a bit of a scare. Like, you go in with dirty ears and you come out with your dog might like apparently die any minute, right? So it was a lot. But then in those 24 hours of that first vet visit on Friday, all these tests, we were there for 2 hours. And then this ultrasound on Saturday, we spent like 2 weeks worth of money in 24 hours just on her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like that, I took that money out. That's supposed to last like weeks. And it was just gone, all of it. And we didn't actually buy anything, right? So anyway, it was that like, holy crap, our wallets are literally smoking, and then being concerned for her. So definitely there was a lot of self-talk. So Friday, driving home, it was just like processing all this information, like, and what it was is her iron levels were so low. So her iron levels, the HCT should be at least 39. It was at 16, and apparently if it gets to 10, you must have an emergency transfusion. So she was just on that cusp. And we hadn't really noticed, but you know, he goes in her mouth and her gums are so pale and her little tongue is really pale. And I'm like, holy crap, I swear to God, that wasn't just like that. Um, so right away, and I am anemic myself. I have been on iron supplements since I was 4. So I did ask him, I'm like, can I give her iron supplements? And he's like, yep. And here's all your medication. So we come home right away with supper. I give her the iron. We go out Saturday after we get the ultrasound. We stop by a butcher shop, and I buy her a big chunk of liver because liver is very high in iron. And even by Saturday afternoon, her tongue was a bit pinker. And then after having the iron supplements plus the liver, Sunday evening, like, her tongue was nice and red again. So we're like, okay, we're definitely out of the woods, feeling good. But at that point, they didn't really tell us about the parasites because we're dealing with translating from Spanish, and our vet literally knows zero English. So it was a lot of like on the phone and me trying to understand the Spanish words I could. So there was definitely some translation issues there. But yes, it was confirmed when we went back to the vet yesterday. She has some sort of blood parasite. And so There was a lot of, like I said, a lot of the self-talk, because initially you think one of your babies is sick and that panic is there. And especially when people are talking about transfusions, I think part of what did help me is my mom, not last fall, the fall before, I believe it was, she had surgery. And honestly, my mom's had so many surgeries, I lose track now. And she actually came out and they were talking about her irons were so low that they were talking about giving her a transfusion, and getting a lot of information and dealing with that at that time, because of course you hear transfusion and you kind of think like, oh my God, is she going to die? But no, it was just to get those iron levels up, but they were giving her supplements and everything took, and like she's fine. And having that experience, I think, helped prepare me for this, where just because they say she might need a transfusion doesn't mean she will, doesn't mean she's dying. It's just, here's the like, it's just facts. They're just facts. So I kept it as just facts. And I looked at her, and even Saturday after the ultrasound, and they're like, oh my God, she's only born with one kidney. We have to lower the prednisone dose. We're going to have to like test her weekly. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, and then they're like, how is she? And I'm like, well, she's fine. Because even to this day, apparently she's supposed to be lethargic, or she's supposed to have all these signs of having parasites, but she's her regular, usual self. She's chasing the cat. She dances when you're rubbing her bum. She's with her ball. Like, she is fine. So, um, and one of the things I will just share, because I think it's hilarious, is being able to laugh about it. It's that kind of like when people say, oh, if you don't laugh, you'll just cry. So when I turned to the boyfriend, I'm like, well, the vet wants to know how Sisa is. Because again, I think typically she's supposed to have signs. She's supposed to, HCT level so low. She's so anemic. How is she standing? And I'm like, she's still fine. And so I turned to my boyfriend. I'm like, the vet wants to know how she is. And he's rubbing her. He just, I think he actually wasn't handling it as well as I was, to be honest. And he looks, he's like, we took her in for dirty years. Now she's missing a kidney. She might die. I don't know. I look at him. He looks up at me. We just burst out laughing. Oh my God. Because really, I can't make her grow another kidney. I can't just will the parasites to be gone. Like, it is what it is. And now we have to problem solve, and we have to go with the flow. Like, that's all we can do, is do what we have to do to make her better. And the rest is just facts. So that's, I think, the big long-winded moral of my story is keep everything as it is, a fact. So I even went out and I did go on Google. And again, I made sure when I dove into that world, because let's be real, when we're Dr. Googling, we can go down rabbit holes, and it can get really, really ugly, really messy, and it could just jack our anxiety right up. And so I had this about me. I'm like, I am just looking for information. I am looking for more facts. That is all I am doing. And so I did a bunch of Googling parasites. She's on the doxycycline. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's something for parasites. And in my Googling, I read that the best treatment is to mix that with moxy, moxicin, moxie, doesn't matter. It's like, so HeartGuard, which they get every single month, which is funny. She has parasites, but she's on HeartGuard Plus, which kills all the parasites. Apparently not all the parasites. Anyway, so HeartGuard is ivermectin, and in NextGuard Plus and this whatever I got, Simpario Trio, there is this, instead of ivermectin, it's another antiparasitic, moxidectin, whatever. And that is the thing. Instead of the ivermectin, they want this moxidectin mixed with the doxypet. It's called doxypet here and that is what really gets the parasites. So I went out and I'm like, okay. And I'm Googling this and I'm like, well, I have HeartGuard Plus, but apparently that's not good enough in this situation. So I went out this morning and I got her this other stuff. It's got I hate, because it's got for flea and ticks, and it's a neurotoxin, and it just sits in their system, and there's not enough There's not enough studies done to see if that actually negatively affects the dogs long term. But I figure for a month or a couple of months to get rid of these parasites, it's going to have to do, because to my knowledge, it's the only way to get this moxie anti-parasitic. And yeah, so I am honestly, I'm praying for her to get better. I'm praying that she doesn't have any side effects of this neurotoxin uh, thing, and which I'm sure she won't, because they are very, very rare. And at the end of the day, obviously, I want her to get better, but I'm not going to worry about it, because worrying is not going to make her better. Worrying is not going to kill parasites. All it's going to do is drag my ability to be productive, to be happy, to just be in high spirits. It's just dragging it down. And that's the other thing, especially with dogs, and kids are the same. They feel our energy. So if I'm a nervous, worried wreck, she knows something is wrong. And that could affect her healing, because it is still up to her immune system to also battle these things, right? And especially again, now that she has one kidney, everyone's worried about her one kidney, um, which I'm like, well, it's been doing the job fine. And on Friday, they did check her kidney level, and it was fine. So her kidney is fine. But now, of course, it's a big thing. And I'm like, nope, she's 7 years old. She's never had any issues. She's been on medications. Everything is fine. That is like a super kidney, and it's going to stay being a super kidney, and we're fine. Because again, that negative energy is not going to help. The only possible outcome that negative energy is going to do is make me not be able to work, not be able to be productive, clean, whatever I need to. It's going to make me a puddle, and it could negatively impact her healing. She could feel that, and it could bring her down and be like, oh my God, something's happening, especially if I'm blubbering in her, oh, Sisa. Like, it could worry her, right? Which again is not going to help anything. So I'm dealing with facts. This is, like I say, guys, let's save the emotions for the happy, for the positive emotions. Those negative emotions are there to learn from. They're signals. They are signals for sure. We don't want to ignore them, but we need to process them, learn from them, and carry on. So in this case, again, having that anxiety, having that worry, is just going to make me not sleep, which is again going to make everything worse the next day. Having me in a big puddle, not able to clean, not able to do the work I need to do, which I need to do because now I need to earn more money because I got to pay for all her treatments. Like, seriously, in 24 hours, guys, we spent 700 Canadian dollars in 24 hours that we weren't expecting to spend. And it's still going up because it was another $100 for this other, to get the Moxie stuff just this morning. So anyway, here nor there. The point is, all of that negativity, it doesn't help. The only thing it can do is make things worse. That's it. That's all the negative energy is. So we are aware of it. We understand why. Yep, of course there's anxiety creeping in. My baby's sick. Process it. Yep, that's a natural feeling. Is this going to help? Not at all. All right, I'm going to talk myself down. I'm going to do that self-talk, and she's going to be fine. She literally, to see her today, she is fine. We're going to follow the protocols. And in my Google search, I also Googled most parasites. The signs and symptoms are, it's pretty much resolved in a month, but you want to do the protocol is of up to 3 months and then rechecking after 6 months. And dogs, as long as you get the treatment in time, which she's improved already, even her gums are pinker and she's looking really good. Happy lives. There's usually never any permanent damage. So good to go. This is an illness. I figured, just like when I got dengue fever, which was terrible. I don't wish that on anybody. I was literally knocked out for 7 days. I could barely walk afterwards. I had to actually literally regain my energy. I couldn't even barely walk upstairs. I would be crawling into bed, like literally. It was so bad. So we're treating this just like any other illness. We're at the vet. We're heeding what he says. I've done all the research I can do for now. So I feel confident. I have the knowledge I need. I feel confident I am doing the best I can for her. So that's all I can do. So now I just need to carry on with my life, loving her up, doing the regular, getting on here, doing the work I have to do. Because again, worrying solves nothing. It helps nothing. It can only make things worse. So we just deal with life. We're just rolling with it. And whatever comes, comes. And when he gives us more information, we're just going to process that. And then if we need to talk ourselves down again, we'll do that. And yeah, just keep going with it. So I hope this story helps. I hope it's, well, I hope you don't actually relate to it, because nobody wants a sick child, a sick dog, a sick anything. But I hope you can see where having these tools, understanding, yes, this high anxiety is not serving me any purpose. It's just hindering me. It's dragging me down. The only thing it does is make me worse. Take those breaths, calm it down, whether you need to put on a good meditation or something. Remember, do not avoid. If we just try and like distract ourselves, but never come back to deal with it, what we resist persists. So make sure you deal with it. And again, walk it through. I mean, literally, worst case scenario, she dies. God forbid, she's only 7. But if that happens, God forbid, I can't stop it. I'm not going to worry about it. And we'll deal with that if it were to happen, which it won't. Right. And you just have to really accept, like, it'll be what it'll be. It's out of my control. Like, again, like a hurricane coming, like the thunderstorms, like wind, whatever. You can't stop it. All you can do is do anything preventative that you can, but it'll be what it'll be, right? So we have to accept that, like, literally, for our sanity. And I know for myself, even just being like, I can't stop it. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. We'll deal with it then. That comforts me. That actually relaxes my body. Like, even saying that right now, my body relaxed. And it's like, yeah, because literally, and again, ask yourself this, because it really does help. Literally, self, what are you going to do about it? And then you're like, yeah, literally nothing. I did all the research I could. I bought the stuff. I'm doing the best I can. It's all I can ask of myself. Okay, good. And then you just let it go. And then, so I know back in my days of the high anxiety, especially if you're new to trying to get your anxiety under control, it really does help every time it spikes up and every time it's there, you do that self-talk. Listen, self. And even like, I was just in a group yesterday and they said they actually named their inner child, their inner self, their brains, whatever you want to talk it when we do self. I just say, listen, self. I call myself self. Listen, self, we've been through this. It doesn't help. You need to stop thinking about it. You're just bringing us down. So if you want to give it, like the one lady, she named her inner self like Moira, Mary or something, Maya, something like that. She gave it a literal name. And then it was like talking to another person. For me, self works. I do disassociate enough that I can say, listen, self, like, you need to stop, and talk that way. So whatever works for you, and maybe it seems silly, but maybe it works. There's many things that seem silly at first that actually work, but it's all about being able to talk, do that self-talk to bring yourself down. Because I remember back in the day, I can't remember what the situation was, but that anxiety kept coming back, and those, what ifs kept popping back in my head. And I'm like, I remember I got really frustrated, and I was like, hey, seriously, we've been through this. You need to stop. It's not helping. So if this is you, if it's like the 5th, 6th, 7th time in that same day you're having to self-talk yourself down, it's okay. You're changing habits, you're creating neural pathways, you're creating a new way of thinking. So just keep at it, give yourself that bit of patience, and understand it's like teaching a toddler. Repeat, 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 repeat. That's how we get it implanted, and that's how we get it stuck in there. But just know, once it's in there, it's always in there. And it's like that muscle memory. So maybe we might fall off the wagon for a bit, but that pathway's already made. So getting back on is super quick and easy. So just remember that, and know that if we do, because we all fall off the wagon. We all have life happen to us or whatever. And we kind of like get that, oh crap, here's the stress, here's the anxiety. It's okay. Just remind yourself, we've been through this. We've already made those pathways. We already know what to do. We're going to have this wrapped up in a day or two, and we're going to be back to our new normal self. Okay. So I hope this really helps, because I don't know about you guys. I've been having a lot of life happen to me lately. I don't know if it's a test. I don't know if it's like, they always say you get tested when you're up leveling or something. Maybe I'm going to up level. But yeah, life has been throwing a few things, a few curveballs at me. So if you're in the same pickle, the same boat, then just know maybe there's just something in the atmosphere, something is happening in the universe, and maybe we're just in a big shift. Who knows? But you're never alone. And just remember, all of these things are for a purpose. Everything is for learning and growing and winning. And if, as long as you keep that in mind, then I find it just makes everything easier. Life happens for us, not to us. Remember that. Whatever that bad crap is, my baby girl, there's a lesson to be learned. I think maybe it's even changing up her worm medication, or maybe we add something for future. Maybe we had to have this happen now, so we need to know that she does have one kidney for something that's going to happen later. Like, who knows? But it happens for us. So just like I said, it really comforts me to know that it's purposeful, and we just need to take away all the lessons we can so we can grow, be more knowledgeable, do better, and carry on. That's the best we can do, right? So let me know what you think. Leave stuff in the comments. Definitely, I love hearing if you have been in situations, if this is helpful, if you're going through something now. Like, just leave some comments on what you think or share your story. We can work through that also. And have a very lovely rest of your day.